Hello, everyone, and welcome to Speed Docs-a-thon, SDAT, your favorite speedrun-related marathon, I hope. How's everyone doing today? We are up and Adam, we are live for a wonderful weekend. 2 weekends, actually, but this is weekend 1. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to say thank you all for joining us. We are going to be raising money for Save the Children, like we did last time. And we got big aspirations here, so please, by all means, tell your friends, get everybody in here, and let's get this party started. I am joined by Gaffy Taffy as our host for this morning block, but I'll be in the shadows. But I just wanted to come in and say good morning and hello, and thank you for watching SDAT. Please enjoy your time.
And thanks, CC. I'm super excited to be here with you guys again. For
Absolutely.
everyone in chat, it's so great to see you all again for another Speed Docs Marathon. I'm very excited. We've got a bunch of awesome runs coming up. A lot of awesome prizes this time, too. That's a new addition. I really like that.
Yes, we've been working hard on it.
Now, I know I've already put in my submission for the grub. Anything standing out to you today that you're like, oh, that looks like the good prize?
Besides, like, the grand prize of that new Elgato microphone, that's for day 3. Now I'm trying to remember what day 1 was. Let's see, they had the pin set. Oh, the grub. The grub is probably the cute thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a plus.
Great.
I think everybody saw that and was like, oh, we got to get that. Right. So I think a lot of people are going to be looking for that.
Well, I've seen we've already got quite a few donations coming in today. You want to kick us off with our first ones of the day?
Sure, you go ahead if you have it open. I don't have the
me? Okay.
tracker. You're the host, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but you know, this is Speed Docs-a-thon. I figured we got CC on the mic. We got to take advantage of it while we can.
All right, fair enough. But I'm manning the controls back here, so.
All right, then I'll do my job, I suppose. Oh. Well, starting off early, before we even started with the morning show, Anonymous brought in $20. Then Syntheris, another $15. Our favorite Quill and all the fish, $5. So excited to be back with you guys for SDAT 2022. Let's get started with a nice little donation. Enter me in those raffles, CJ, and give Morty that egg. Which, yeah, just as a heads up, and we're already done, so we're going to get to see it. There was a incentive to give Morty, which is Sable's lovable lizard, an egg. So we're gonna get to see that already because, and I can't see the full name, it's cutting off for me, but yo mamas, donate $100. Let us know that Esther was a good girl.
Nice. Thank you for $100. It's a big one.
Yeah, that is huge, starting us off.
All right.
I think we're about ready, right?
We are ready to go. So let's not keep anybody waiting any longer. Let's get this show on the road. So we'll be back momentarily. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, what's going on everyone? I hope you've been enjoying the marathon. SDAT is being run by some really cool people for an awesome cause. So you all being here makes you really cool as well. But you know what else is really cool? Speedrunning's incredible history. My name is Dr. Swellman, and I cover various events that have occurred throughout RPG speedrunning over the years. From Final Fantasy X's community cracking the code of RNG manipulation, to Legend of Dragoon speedrunners using save corruption to skip over 3/4 of the game. I absolutely love sharing the accomplishments in what are considered to be lesser known communities. If you enjoy Speed Docs, then I promise you're going to love it over here. Anyways, that's enough of me. Stay hydrated folks, and enjoy the rest of the show.
waxaan u imaaday ilmaha baa iga xanuunsaday xanuun badan oo xumad leh oo feeraha oo gaadan yahay oo ihileeyahayna wuu lahaa.
The ad's over, so I'm going to give you a 3, 2, 1 countdown. So 3, 2, 5.
Hello, everybody, and with me today we have a returner to Speed Docs Marathons. It's SableDragonRook.
Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you. Thanks for hanging out with me today, Gaffy. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to be here.
So, this is going to be inside all deaths in support of Save the Children. Don't worry, it's fine. Um, real quick, though, it seems that the incentive to give Mort an Eggie has already been met, if I'm understanding correctly.
Yeah, huge
So-
donation from Yo Mama's cousin Esther.
Oh.
Dropped $100.
All right, so before we even start, then I'm gonna stand up for like 15 seconds and run over there real quick and give him well-deserved. I will be right back.
And everyone, look how cute that is. Mort there in the corner for the camera. Now, I think I've seen a lot of berries. I know one of my favorite things to do is to give a treat over on Sable Stream. She often has like a channel point reward to give them berries, fruits, and stuff like that. So I've never seen an egg. Oh, wow. He's just going right for it.
All right.
No hesitation there at all.
Yeah, no,
he's
adores
hungry.
him. He adores Eggies. I mean, I have more Eggies. With want to make that repeatable or something, but Mort, my dude, can you not drag it everywhere though? All right, well, say. Anyway, let's get started here. With this any percent, not any percent. I lied just now. Don't believe me. This all death run of Inside. As long as everybody's ready, I'll give you a countdown. We can start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Now, I'm not sure if I should say good luck or bad luck if the goal is to die repeatedly.
Very true. I would say, yeah, bad luck. Bad luck. So this is a lovely atmospheric game. The same people who made Limbo, which, I don't know, I feel like when Limbo came out, it kind of like revolutionized how people thought of games like this. It was like a huge thing. But maybe that was just me having never. So we're side-scroller spoopy game, sort of. And the goal is going to be to trigger each unique death animation. So they put a lot of effort in how many different animations you can get. And we're going to do our due diligence and make sure we see them all. Yoink. That was caught by a guard. Very easy.
So for those of us watching, do we actually finish the game, or does the run end just whenever you hit that last animation?
Sadly, we do not finish the game. We're like probably 5 minutes from the end of the game. But we get what I would call like the point. We get this exciting development, shall I say, at the end. So we at least get to see that. But it ends, yeah, like right when we do a certain thing. We do actually go past the final death, but it's not the end of the That's what any percent is for. Okay, so this beginning is just fairly simple. We're just this boy trying to get away from these people. Not really sure right now or if ever what they want from us. Hey buddy, thank you. This is Caught by a Dog. Technically, I think there's a better place to get this, but this is the way that the run is routed, so this is where we'll get it. And I'm pulling backwards real quick to re-trigger the brief animation we get at the beginning of being able to walk a little faster right when you start walking in the water. Otherwise, we don't really have enough time to get away from this dog and do what we're trying to do here. Which is that. That death, for some reason, is particularly hard. It's called Pushed by a Dog. And that's the only place that you can get it.
So did somebody put like a list down of every possible death animation? Because I'd almost think it'd be possible to miss some of them.
Yeah, I would argue, honestly, that there's at least one that I think is different enough it should be on there that's not on there. So yeah, the community just kind of agreed on what these deaths are. Also, I'm like playing this game and also keeping track of more. But he enjoying his eggie for sure, even though he spilled it all over the floor. Beautiful. And don't worry, by the way, it looks like we just got shot there. They shoot tranquilizer darts, not bullets, so maybe a little bit less grotesque than it seems. Because they seem to want to capture us, not actually hurt us.
After getting Mufasa off a cliff, I think I wasn't concerned anymore.
We do have some sort of intense ones, but we don't really know what they want. And to note that as this little boy, red shirt, that's really all we know about ourselves. We're this boy in the red shirt. We don't have a mask on, and everybody else does. What that means, I don't know. I like how ambiguous it is, how unclear everything is, and yet you can tell that it's just this homogenous organization, whatever, because they all have masks. But even later we'll see, like, there's a woman carrying a baby, and even the baby has a mask. I have no idea what's going on. And such good, like, ambient noise. Such a fun game to play. Like, if you have surround sound speakers, like, epic. There's a lot of teeny tiny little spooky. Really good sound design.
If I remember correctly, was this made by the same people that made Limbo?
Yes. Limbo, and they're working on something else right now. I don't think they have shared a lot of, but from what I know, it's going to be kind of in the same vein of these kind of things. It's got a lot of Little Nightmares vibes, kind of, but it's not the same. I don't think. Some of my audio is getting eaten. Is it when I start talking or when I finish talking?
I don't mean to pop in here. Sable, will you have any downtime at any point?
I can have downtime whenever.
Your noise gate is cutting you off a little bit.
Okay, I'll just pop it off. Hey, this is me being a good streamer who can definitely 100% set up a noise gate without having it ruin everything. Alright, it's gone. So you should be able to hear me better.
Thank you. You were getting cut off a little bit at the end, so the people need to hear what you have to say.
So the way we go up ropes inside, I don't know, it just makes me really happy because I realized with the help of like Parhelion, who is the world record holder in basically everything in Inside, that you can kind of shimmy up ropes and chains faster than you're supposed to be able to. And I actually transferred that over to Last Guardian, and that ended up saving like a bunch of time in that game as well.
Oh, that's really cool. I wouldn't have, I guess, thought of anything like that.
Right? It like expanded my mind.
I was just thinking, I'm impressed with like the upper body strength of these children.
What is it with children in video games? Just having like the physique of Arnold Schwarzenegger. So our little chicken friends there helped us. I did fling them through a little vacuum thing, but don't worry, they're okay. So our next goal is to be tackled by a pig. We must find said pig first. And apparently just being tackled by him is enough for us to die. I mean, I guess pigs are pretty big. Maybe that makes sense, I don't know. Mort will not believe that his egg is gone. He's just so committed to getting every little morsel. Okay.
Poor guy almost looks a little sad now.
Almost as if we could maybe... Uh-oh, here's the pig. We could maybe give him another egg to make him feel better.
That sounds like a good bonus incentive. Let me see what the voices in my head have to say about that.
Oops. I didn't split. Okay, Mr. Piggy has a bug coming out of his butt. Don't worry about it. We pull it out and he feels better.
Oh, is this Bloodborne? I think I've seen this.
So the way that this little contraption works, I hook my head up to it, and any of these guys in the background who also don't have masks, interestingly, will do whatever I say to do. And you can see, like, me as the boy, I'm basically controlling them by having them do the same thing that I'm doing. So whenever we hook our heads up to that, we'll be able to use some friendos to solve puzzles.
And by the way, the voices have spoken. If we get to $200 before the end of this run, we will give Mort another egg to crush on stream.
Yes. Mort is excited. I can tell you. He knows. He also got that announcement just now and he's told me. He is very excited.
Do keep in mind, if you are just joining us, there's lots of awesome prizes for you to win too, with at least a, I believe, $3 donation.
Okay.
Including, and I love it, a nice plushy grub.
Oh, I saw the plush grub. The plush grub is great. From Hollow Knight.
Mm-hmm. I'm a little biased. I want it, so if nobody donates, that's for that, even better. You guys probably want the earbuds.
And there was like a light, I think it looked like. I was muted at the time.
Oh yeah, it's a full bundle. A webcam, a ring light. There's even a stream deck up for grabs today.
Does it bother anyone else that Stream Deck and Steam Deck are like so close to each other?
It's messed up my brain at least a dozen times, yeah.
That's probably not high enough, let's be real. Okay.
Are you about to crush yourself?
I'm about to, attempt to...
Oh.
I'm about to attempt to do, I don't know, this is a weird death to me. I just like go down with this thing and they count it, the community counts it as like having a heart attack. I'm not entirely sure, like, I don't really get it, but it's part of the run, so sure. Sometimes I will also take fall from a great height there. But let's be real. I might be a gamer god, but I'm not that good. I'm probably going to accidentally fall at some point. And so we can just count that as fall from a great height. That's the nice thing about this category. Some of these deaths you might just get anyway. Like, you don't have to get them in a certain spot. So... There are others, of course, that you can only get once, which makes it a little spooky, you know, if you miss the opportunity.
Trying to imagine what do the splits for this game look like?
They are the literal descriptions of each death. So the next one is fell from a great height, but I don't know. I might skip that one and do zapped by a sentry light. Because the strategy behind this... Oh, Morty, what are you doing, bud? He's got his mouth open right now because he's drinking and like getting ready to cough. There you go, bud. Better? Because they don't... Okay, so here's like lizard fact sheet. They don't have the same like swallowing mechanisms that we do. So they usually have to lift their head up like that to get the liquid to go down. Right, Mort? And also he probably just has some ticklish eggshells in his throat. You got it, buddy. Yeah.
Oh, he's so cute!
Woo! I almost died. Oh no. So there's a death here that I think should be counted. We just jumped over it. If you fall in between these buildings, there's like a shopping cart. And so there's like a unique animation for landing in the shopping cart. And it scares a cat away who's standing in the alley. And I think that should count, personally. But I guess they just count it as falling from a great height. So I suppose I get it.
Now, speaking of cuties, we do have $10 from Ika, who definitely thinks that Mort needs a snack, and $5 from Solarium to save the kids and feed the good boy Mort. Sign me up. Also, hi to me, and hi Solarium. How are you, bestie?
Well, thank
That
you,
puts us
everybody.
at 155, which is 45 away from another egg. Keep in
Yeah.
mind, there's also an incentive for Xenoblade to beat up the 2 strong monkeys. Whatever that means, I kind of want to see it.
That sounds basically mandatory, if we're being real. Alright, I think Mort has finally gotten over himself. So I took zapped by a sentry light here. Technically there's like one other place we could do it, I think, but this is the most convenient. And the strategy behind a lot of these deaths is, you know, how close can you do it to a checkpoint? Because you don't want to have to run any further than necessary. This is a speed run, after all. So in cases where there's lots of places where you can do a certain death, we'll do the one that spawns you closest to where you die. Excuse me, bird. Now, there's a way to do this a lot faster than we're going to, because it's spooky. This camera is watching me to make sure that I'm, you know, behaving just like these other people. I say this as I'm like doing Mort Cam and kind of not paying attention. So if we don't behave like them, it'll zap us and we'll die. And we do want that, but we don't want it right now, because then we'll have to do all this again. So we're gonna wait for a very specific time. Really experienced runners, like Parhelion, will do like this. I'll show it in a second. We'll do like this shimmy thing. Like this. Just barely moving. Because the camera doesn't notice you enough, and it gets you further and further forward. So you skip one cycle of having to be inside these boxes and do like the jumps and the turnarounds and stuff. Which is nice, since obviously we have to stand here and wait and do nothing. And there's all those people in the background, the baby and everything. All of them have masks. Mort has departed. But if I try to find him now, I am going to die. Nice, one more, and then we're just about ready for being zapped by this sentry light. That was a little out of sync. Alright, I just want to get past this chair. I'm gonna go a smidge further. I don't want to have to do that again. So obviously it reached me from inside that other room. That's what we wanted. Mort, where hath thou gone? There's a dog in the back of this room, and he's going to be a problem here in just a second. Okay, let's go. It's always a little spooky knowing exactly when to get the heck out of here. There's Mort.
I just want to say I'm very impressed with how well you're like moving the camera, also playing this game.
It's years and years of streaming while having Mort cam.
I guess I just assumed watching your stream that it was almost automatic. Just, you know, face tracking or something.
Yeah, the nice thing is that a lot of the games that I play give me enough downtime but that I can just like do it. But if I'm playing something like, if I'm trying to do like Hollow Knight Pantheon of Hallownest or something, or there's some other game I play where I never have time. I can't remember. I guess like Shadow of the Colossus. I can do it with my feet as well. Okay. I think I always mess this up. Let's not do this wrong. Alright, we got the guy on top. He's holding that button down so that we can get through this door. We might be here a little while. This is by far one of the hardest deaths in the entire run. This is going to be crushed by a horizontal door. This is the only chance that we have to do this, so we have to do it here. And the timing is, as you might expect, a little bit tight. Good news is, we also need to drown, so we're gonna do that. That means we don't have to do it later. Morty, what you doing, dude? Okay.
Well, while we're suffocating, we actually have $25 from Villain.
Hey!
Look at that cute grubby. I need it just as much as Mort needs another eggie. Hearts for Mort. Which means we're only $20 away, so Mort, get ready.
We're almost there. I'm gonna be honest here and say, oh, there we go. I didn't know which side of Mort was the front and which was the back. Hi, buddy. I found you. So yeah, horizontal door is tough. I'm not gonna make you spend, 6 years here with me, but we're gonna give it a couple more good tries.
Yeah, this one seems tricky.
Oof. All right. The timing is super, super tight, and shout outs to some of the top tier runners. I say that being in like 4th place or something, but still. Who can do this on like 1st or 2nd try. Ooh, that was so close. That was so close. I want to try it a couple more times. Technically, that's also fall from a great height, so we're accomplishing other things. Like, it's not like we're just wasting time. We've accomplished 2 other deaths here. That one was a little ambiguous. We'll maybe count that if we don't get it here in a second, but there's another death that we're going to take a little bit later on called Cut by a Circular Door, which you can probably imagine what that's going to be like. There's a place at the end of the game, one more try. There's a place at the end of the game where, too far, the top runner will do this just absolutely wild death that really, hey, we got it. Okay.
Hey, let's go.
He does that like scrabbling thing, that's how you can tell. All right, final try and we got it. But yeah, there's this it's basically like you have a fraction of a second to get it, and if you don't get it, the entire run is invalid, and it's like 3 minutes before the end of the run. Or, you know, I'll fail again. This time I meant to actually just go through. So Parhelion is an amazing runner, and if you have any interest in this game at all, you will no doubt encounter Parhelion at some point. Alright, let's just be really generous and make sure we get through here. Onward we go. That dang crushed by a horizontal door, I tell you what. Oh, don't let me drown, don't let me drown. Oh no! Okay. We took drowning already, I don't want it again. So, 3 deaths essentially from that one little section. We won't have to do some other stuff later because of how that panned out. Mort is on the move.
Now, great news. Shade Strike dropped a $25 donation, reaching our second egg incentive. Eggies for the Eggy God.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I have an idea, actually, of when I will have the time to give that egg. Unless people don't actually care about my time, which is entirely valid, and then I'll just give it right now.
Whenever you think is proper. It could be end of the run, right now, whenever there's a slight intermission, I guess.
There is a slight intermission that we will encounter. I'm trying to think exactly how close we are to it, because I don't want y'all to wait too long. I mean, Mort deserves his eggy.
I actually have no idea. Do they have word recognition, lizards? Like, you saying egg, is he like, what?
It depends. Mort, you know, maybe that's like a 5 brain cell kind of task, and he's only got 3, so he's almost there. But the Tegu that I have, yeah, like for sure, they know their name, they know all sorts of stuff. They could be, like, I taught my previous Tegu, Raphaelos, colors, and I'd be like, go to the yellow, and he would go and touch the yellow, and then he'd get a snack. So they can be fairly smart. Mort maybe is just not a shining example.
And for anybody that maybe hasn't seen a Sable stream, how many reptiles do you have at your house nowadays?
I would need to count. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are down a little bit because we sent Chap to a educational facility. He was a Tegu that we had and worked on rehabilitating. So our numbers change from time to time based on like rehoming, but I basically think all of the ones that we have now we do like intend to just keep forever. Hello? Spotlight, come on, get moving. So we got zapped by one of these sentry lights. We're done with that. Probably should have saved it for later, because there's a really easy spot to die, and I'm probably gonna die, but you know, believe. I believe. But thank you everybody for the donations. Mort will get his Iggy shortly. And I guess, since we don't have to do Fall from a Great Height or anything here, since we did it previously, we have plenty of time to share about, like, the charity and stuff if we have such information available. Because I think it's Save the Children, even though my run would tend to indicate otherwise. Plus, there's also incentives for upcoming games, so if you check out, there's probably an exclamation point donate chat command where we can look at, like, the future incentives that are coming up. It's not just Mort. Of course, I appreciate the support for Mort. But there's more than just my run, of course. Hey, Morty. Okay, watch me, like, unironically die to this dog. I don't want to. That is not one of my planned deaths.
That is my bad. I guess I somehow accidentally hit the mute button. I'm a professional after all.
Hey, it happens. I had to turn my noise gate off. I get it.
We actually, and I love it, everybody knows their task here, has been hitting the Xenoblade incentive, which is only now $35 off, to beating up 2 strong monkeys. We also have a handful of polls going on. The one coming up soonest is the Hello Kitty rescue, which looks like an absolute mess, and I'm excited.
It totally is.
But
That's
to
like
choose
such a
which
mean
character
game.
you are. Right now, Cinema Roll, I don't know, Hello Kitty apparently, is taking it $40 as compared to everything else with nothing else. Don't forget, everybody, to
Whoa.
fill out your submission form if you have donated, so that way we know what you want.
I didn't mean to die there. You didn't say anything. You were definitely just paying attention to the donation incentive things. That guy just had laser eyes for me, apparently.
I guess the beauty of this
Bruh.
category is you can just fake it, be like, yeah, this is totally intentional. I needed this.
What is happening? I've never seen these guys just be so up in my business. Just go into your office. It's funny because they're paying so much attention to me now, and yet once they walk into this office, I run right past their window and they're like, I don't care, whatever. Okay, we got ourselves a little fancy submarine now. I'm going to try to pace my boosts exactly right so that we never run out of boost. Like, we sync it up real nice to get through all these doors. We have to wait for this one, sadly. Conk. Okay. Marty! Dude. Oh, okay, this Mort, right now, he knows. He knows about the egg. And I know that he knows because he's telling me that he wants to come out. He's trying to get my attention. Scratching at his door. Hey, buddy. His arms aren't long enough. Okay, this puzzle really confused me. The first time that I played this game, didn't know what to do. We gotta break the, nope. Gotta break the wall, and then that lets us go through it. We're gonna open this door, and then we're gonna yeet our submarine straight through. I am not gonna drown, because we did that already. Morty, I will give you egg. You must wait. Also, you know, so it's the kind of day I'm having today. I thought to myself, I wonder why I haven't seen anything from chat. It's because I have my OBS window open and not Twitch.
Oh, no.
So I can't see chat. Haha. So that was Crushed by Rolling Barrels.
Oh, wow, that's brutal. That is really brutal.
A little bit spooky. But it was intentional. I didn't just walk into that door like a goober for no reason. The next one kind of is like one of the ones that really is spooky to me. I don't like underwater stuff, like in movies and video games, whatever. I'm not afraid of water. I like swimming, but whenever I have nightmares, it's always like I'm swimming through a tunnel and I don't know where the end is. And I hate that. I hate it so much.
Would you go like snorkeling in the ocean or anything like that?
I would go snorkeling. I would never go cave diving.
Ooh.
Like those people who just see like, oh yeah, there's just like a little crack in this rock. I'm gonna go into it. Nah. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, I like to call it a healthy respect, not a fear. Mm-hmm. But yeah, open ocean like that, oh, I'm not a fan.
It's really spooky.
Games in general, I'm trying to think of like anything I'm like, this water level isn't that bad. They're almost always the worst.
Yeah, water levels are like notoriously yikes, I feel like. And we had a little something there in the front of the camera for a second. Hey. This is true. Abzu does have good water levels. I never felt super like uncomfortable playing Abzu. That one was much more relaxing. Then again, you're also like a scuba diver, I guess. So that kind of makes you feel a little better because you have oxygen. But like I know there's that kind of stuff in what? That super famous franchise of games where you're Nathan Drake. Uncharted, that's what it is.
Uncharted, yeah.
There's always stuff like that. It's like bold of you to assume that you're gonna swim into this cavern and there's going to be an other side.
So I kind of got a lot of flack for this recently. I only played the first Uncharted, and so I watched the movie recently because it's on Netflix or whatever. It's got Spider-Man, so I'm like, okay, I can get behind this. And it reminded me a lot of the game, but like not in a good way. It's just like, oh wait, you're just doing the same thing but in a different location now. I'm like, okay, well this was not great.
Here we go. Depressurized submarine. We got this friendo in the water who claws at our glass on our submarine until it breaks. And that's it. Stop it. A little spooky. You can just stop. Why are you so close? Stop.
What is that? Is that the ring?
It basically seems like it, doesn't it? Some really good runners can actually clip that door with the submarine. Like they can boost and clip the door as they're coming through, and so it closes as they're moving instead of having to like look back like I did and bang it again. Problem is, whenever I try to do that, I just bonk into it and then she eats my face. So we're not gonna do that. But also, back to Uncharted for a hot second. I would like to say that I watched the Uncharted movie because I watched it by proxy through the person in front of me on an airplane. I felt really bad because it was like this really old guy, and so his reaction time was like a little bit slower, and the airplane screen wasn't working right. So he was just trying so desperately to watch this movie, but he couldn't like navigate between the two buttons that he had to press fast enough before they went away. And he was at it for like 20 minutes, and like finally he got to watching it, and he made it until there was like 30 minutes left in the movie or something, and then the entire like TV system on the whole plane reset. And he was like, whatever, I'm just gonna watch Aquaman. I felt bad he didn't get to finish his movie, and neither did I, by proxy.
The only time I've been mad at a pilot is it's like a 2.5-hour flight or something, and so it's just long enough to watch a movie, right? But they always stop and it auto pauses your movie.
Yes.
Like, all right, you can go to the bathroom now. Okay, it's nice and sunny where we're landing. Okay, here's this, here's that. We got turbulence now, and I just missed like the end of a movie by like 15 minutes. And I'm like, oh, pilot, we're throwing hands. Open that door, I dare you.
Because then they turn it off too, like 15 minutes before you land. It's like, oh, we're coming in for landing. Okay, yeah, but that's like half an hour from now. Let me watch my movie.
First world problems for sure.
Alright, so we've got multiple levels of Morty. No, we don't have multiple levels of Morty. We have multiple levels of problems to solve here. We're trying to get 19 people up onto that platform that we turned on that said 19 in big like neon numbers. Which means we need to recruit our friends from every corner of this little factory and get them to help us out. Step number 1, in order to be able to tell them what to do, I have to get a hat. The special thing I put on my head that lets me control whatever these guys are. I don't necessarily want to call them like drones because they're my buddies, they're my friends. Morty do be hiding right now. We'll give him his Iggy, I haven't forgotten. There's just like a little scripted thing later that we're waiting for. Alright, got my hat. Thanks, guys. This one is also a little bit spooky. There's a spike at the bottom of this pit. I have to try to line myself up. Might take a couple tries. It's a little bit finicky. Wait. Oh, glorious first try. That was impaled on a spike. Alright, well, we don't have to worry about that anymore. That's gonna save us some time.
Oh.
But yikes, huh?
Yeah, I'm watching with a little bit of stream delay too, so you preface it, and then I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, that is gross.
Alright, but it's okay. We got our friends. Don't think about that. Think about the friends. Help me, friendos. Thank you.
Real quick, speaking of friends, thank you, Chaville, for the $10. You might have to
Yay.
explain this one to me. Unmute the children %?
Oh no. That sounds like a horror movie premise. Hi, Mort. Here you go. Alright, so I'm gonna do this the way that I prefer to do it instead of necessarily the fastest way. But we need to get smooshed by this minecart. That is our next goal. Glorious was such a well-chosen word. Well, you know, I am here for one purpose, and it's to get wrecked as much as possible. Alright, smoosh. So the more optimal way to do that is to solve this entire puzzle and then get them to do that like right at the end. But honestly, the reason that I don't do it that way is just because I tend to forget. So we just got it out of the way. Oh, Mort, yeah. Mort is judging 100% of the time. That's what he was put on this planet to do. Yeah, it's to be as bad as possible, but to be like as bad as possible in a controlled way. Because when I died to horizontal door like 9 times more than I needed to, that maybe was just bad.
Or hear me out here. You're just too good at doing the objective.
You know, it's funny because yesterday at Frame Fatales, I literally was too good for the game, and it just destroyed me. It wrecked me. I solved the puzzle too quickly, and the entire game just glitched.
That's very fitting for Last Guardian.
Yeah, Trico just decided, he's like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. That was way too fast. Leave me alone. So this is a jet box. We've encountered one other one. I yank on it and it goes flying up into the sky like that. We stick the box on top of it here, just so we don't have to wait for it to go like all the way up and come all the way down. Kind of kill a little bit of its momentum. And I've never really explained, by the way, why I'm doing these little bunny hops. It's faster than running, but it's not just like mash X and jump whenever. There is a very specific little reasoning to it as far as like the tempo you have to keep up. And that tempo is actually faster while I have this hat on. So I do need to like be familiar with both ways to do these little hops. He needs to be doing his little foot shuffle in between each hop, or we're losing time on the hops. Alright, fellows, up to the top we go. Man, Mort is doing his best to knock this camera over. At least it's not into water. He's done that before. He's like dragged his camera into the water and just completely destroyed it. Like an absolute troll. Everybody counts. Come on, bud. Get over here. So yeah, we're trying to get 19 body weight of people onto this pressure plate down below. And technically that guy counts. He's not doing so hot, but he counts. He's just sleeping, right?
Yeah, just taking a little nap.
I mean, they got hard hats on. They're probably working. He's just taking a little nappy. A little siesta. Those guys, I'm sure, will also be fine, even though I just yeeted them off a cliff. Don't worry about it. Yeah, they're pretty flexible.
Oh, I don't think they're wearing party hats. Oh.
Aww. Alright, we're almost to where we need to be. Doing our little shimmy step. Morty is clawing desperately to get out and get another egg. I like the way these guys move. They're just like, they're shimmy shamming, just shambling, you know? Having a good time. I like their design a lot. They're not quite like, I don't know, these guys are fairly normal, but the further we get, you'll see that our friendos here are kind of not entirely normal. They start having heads that are a little bit not where they're supposed to be, and maybe they're missing an arm, or they have too many arms. But we love them anyway. We love them just the way they are.
You got a whole squad now. This is a party.
Me and the boys at 3 a.m. looking for beans. Alright, we're almost there. And then this next section, you can actually hear it very faintly in the back if I would ever stop my yammering. is by far my favorite in the game. I love it so much. The sound design, just the whole level design, it's great. Alright, gentlemen. I count as one, this guy counts as one. Cool. Doors are open. So the shockwave blasts that hat off of my head. And we got like rhythmic shockwaves coming here. This is all
The squad only liked you for your drip, huh?
Oh yeah. Once I lose my hat, they're like, man, you're lame. Oof, that was so close. We need blasted by a shockwave, so I figured I would just accept that like one way or the other. Alright, so I'm gonna try to one cycle this clock, and I can almost guarantee that it's not gonna work, and we'll take blasted by a shockwave because we need it anyway. Yeesh. Explode! Okay, yeah. One cycle clock is really hard, so... I got exploded a little bit, it's fine. So now we'll play it like a little bit more safely to actually get through this puzzle. I might not make it to the top because I timed that poorly. Woo. Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it. Cool. Morty, I'm gonna need you to chill, my friend. He is scrabbling at the door with something fierce. Oh. This is being a little bit of a booger. It's one of the hardest puzzles in the game. Even if you're like fairly decent at doing it in one cycle, it's for sure something that like I'm happy to do it in all deaths because I know I'm gonna die at least once. I don't have to plan for the shockwave death, it just happens. It's being really not generous though, like come on. I'm behind that thing, and don't you tell me that I'm not.
Oh,
Dirty
wow,
liar.
yeah.
That's right, yeah, I first try shockwave death every time. I got this, no problem. God gaming right here. See, it's not syncing up. I'm concerned I might have to reload the checkpoint because it's not syncing the way that it should be. Because you stop the clock when the shockwave hits, obviously, so that you have some protection. But it's not quite synced the way that it should be. I tried to fix it by jamming it twice there. Yeah, there would have been my nice one cycle, of course. But that's fine. We should be safe here. Yeah, no problem. Alright. So the game was being a little bit greedy, but in the end, we're through. That's why our estimate is what it is and not my PB. Cool.
So this is actually kind of interesting because before, I mean, I've played this game a bit, and you see it, it's like, oh yeah, you just kind of, you go along the levels. And so seeing things like B-hop integration and how difficult some of these cycles could be is actually going to be a lot of respect for it as like a speed game that I wouldn't have thought of.
Yeah, this is another cycle actually right now that we're probably going to get wrecked on. Oof, that was so close. That door needs to hook behind that yellow railing in order to not just fling me to my doom. And it was really close. So, oh, well, I messed up here. Yeah. That's fine. That was like fully a me thing. I wasn't really paying attention. So these cycles definitely can be pretty punishing in this section, but I like it because the section itself is like really cool. I like the sound design of the shockwave. I like everything getting flung around by it. I just think it's really cool, so it's nice to hang out here for a while. We're done though, sadly. And there's a really cool trick here, actually. I've never been able to do it, but we have this concept in the game, not only of like the X and Y axis, right, which would be side to side and up and down, but also the Z axis, which is the one that comes towards us, the viewer, and into the like depth of the screen. And that does exist, even like it's not just an illusion that there's this 3D space. There actually is this 3D space. Also, I hate this so much. Like we were talking about water earlier. I hate this. So there's a way that you can get the little kid to like shimmy really fast, and somehow in this particular spot it pushes him back into the level on the Z-axis, and it can cause him to fall behind the elevator. But since the game isn't expecting you to do that, you don't die, like you're fine, and you just skip all of that little like animated getting stuck in the elevator that we just did. We're also aiming to be crushed by this door, which, okay, thank you, little boy, for reaching out your arms. That's what they're there for, grabbing things. Just like Last Guardian. Truly, I run games where I can't control whether the boy grabs things. So this is my genre. Incompetent little children. Bruh. Like, bruh. I've never had this happen before. Like, this is the way that the puzzle is set up. That shouldn't be happening. It's the weirdest thing.
Marathon luck, right?
Yeah.
This is how it's supposed to go.
Okay. Okay, let me... I psyched myself out. I'm gonna run from, like, really far back here. Okay. I gotta time this. Grab the rope, you little boy. Because we do only have the one chance to do this with the door.
Oh. This is what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm sure you can see what we're trying to do here, given the type of run that we've got, but...
I'm almost amazed that they actually gave this an animation. I feel like it's just so unlikely to happen.
Right? Because it's only... Okay, technically it's not only in this spot, and the top 1 or 2 runners will actually do it in a much, much harder spot. But... Alright, we're giving ourselves a little extra time. At least he's grabbing the rope now. There we go. So we got smooshed. And now we can actually solve the puzzle.
Oh. Oh.
Was really, really weird that we couldn't grab the rope. Like, obviously that wasn't a problem after it was. Like, it sort of sorted itself out, you know? But I don't know. Maybe the game's just being a little buggy today, considering how the shockwave clock went as well. Like, not quite giving me credit for being behind the thing. So, no biggie. We're here to get wrecked, and getting wrecked is what we're doing. That's a good question. It could be that the game was patched recently, because they do still, you know, work on stuff like this fairly regularly. I don't know why this one is a death. It's very weird to me. The momentum of that jetbox coming up and meeting you is enough to die. So it's called landed on a flying jetbox.
Okay. Huh. I guess you just crush your legs.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. To me, that would also count just as like falling from a great height, but I don't know. It's easy, so I'm not going to complain about it. We are going to have one more death. We're essentially past the really challenging ones, you know, vertical door, horizontal door. We've got one challenging one left. Hello. Which is crushed by a falling jet box. And that hopefully will not be too much of a nightmare. But it has the potential to be nightmare enough that I will leave it if we're having a hard time with it. Because, again, you kind of manipulate the game in a way you're not supposed to, so... Which is why I don't know why they have an animation for it. Okay, so that was very intentional. Here we go, we get drowned by the water girl. And I went up and I did all the stuff that I did so that we would checkpoint up here. So that we don't have to worry about doing all of that rope swinging again. Cool. Bye-bye. She's such a good, like, I don't even want to call her an antagonist, just like an environmental hazard, because she never talks, she never like even makes noise really. She's just kind of there, but only sometimes, so you're never quite sure. And her design I also really like, because they made it like just weird enough that her hair doesn't quite behave right. So sometimes it like glitches through her face and I don't know, it just makes her look extra creepy to me, that she doesn't always have a defined face. There's that other vertical door that really good runners will get crushed by. Obviously that's a lot harder because you have to get crushed without the water girl catching you. And they basically happen at almost the same time, so... Ain't nobody got time for that. Good news is we're starting to get into a little chunk where we don't have to do the deaths because we did them earlier. Mostly on accident, but you know, that's okay. Like I said, one of the benefits of this run, if you mess up getting one death, you probably got another. And there's a really cool trick to get this in one cycle. World record holder does it, and one other person I know does it, but it's way, way hard, and I know that the majority of runners do not do it, where they can manage to turn that button on, turn it off, and get through the door, all without the water girl catching her, or catching you, instead of just like luring her back like I'm doing.
Yeah, it seems really tight.
Yes, it's exceptionally tight, and it all has to do with like how you jump in the water and getting a little bit of extra momentum as you go down. And I've never been able to get it to work. But we through. We don't have to take drowned here, which is nice. Morty has noped out somewhere. Well, I get the chance to find him because he's gonna get his egg.
Egg time!
Here we go. I'm gonna step away real quick while this happens. This does not count as drowned by the water girl, if you're wondering why I didn't do this way earlier. And you will see why while I'm gone. I will be right back.
see an egg. I see a mort.
I put it on a plate this time. And we'll see if that makes him less likely to throw it all over the floor.
Do you wind up having to clean that up if it does, like, just egg all over the mulch, or does he pretty much destroy it?
Yeah, he pretty much destroys it. I mean, if I notice a wet patch, I'll just take it out, but... Oh, I think he's emerging. Once he notices that egg, he will be all over it. So, the reason that that doesn't count as drowned by the water girl is because we don't drown. Hi, Mort. Is that an eggy? Yeah.
Oh.
He just, if I could feed him nothing but eggs and he would be so happy. He
There
loves
we
them so
go.
much. See, Mort, wasn't that so much nicer? You just cracked an egg onto a plate and now you get to eat it. And he's not even eating the good part. He's just eating the shell. Well, you know, whatever floats your boat, my guy.
I figure it's probably like an appetizer, you know?
Yeah.
Get that salad out and then the main course.
Save the best part for last. So yeah, we didn't drown. The water girl, turns out, this entire time was just trying to help us. And she plugged us into some kind of machine thing that lets us breathe underwater now. And then she just left us alone. So that's why I don't really call her like an antagonist. Because she leaves us alone after she does what it is that she's trying to do. And you can probably see what I'm trying to do, which is cut by a circular door. Alright, now that that's done with, we only have a couple more deaths. One of them is going to be that challenging jetbox death, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. It really is remarkable, like, all of the effort they put into all of these animations, isn't it? Like, they didn't have to do that. It could just
not at
fade to
all.
black, or, you know, you could just get pushed out. Like, they didn't have to make it so that you die there. And I'm sure you can imagine, I can hear you asking, surely you could run into those turbines and get caught, and you're correct. But we need to go up and get this checkpoint, which is why I went up here. Now we'll get sucked into the turbines.
Oh.
Schwonk. Okay. So, I've just got a little bit of dealing with a spotlight, hiding from it to do. So, if we could hear a little bit about the incentives that are coming up after my run, so we can get prepared for those.
Well, for sure. Let me double check these numbers for Xenoblade, but looks like, yes, we are $25 away on that. Our next run is Xenoblade, so you'll have a little bit of time left for that. I'm not sure exactly when the incentive will need to be met, but we will ask Reich as he is on. For our polls, the one coming up is that Hello Kitty racing game, which there is both the choose character, and then I guess actually we have two Hello Kitty games later on. There's choose outfit for roller rescue, which there's a denim outfit, so you can jord up, or swimsuit. In general, just to remind everybody, we do have a lot of prizes that you can win today. Exclamation prize, I'll put that in chat, or prizes. But
One
lots
of those,
cool things.
surely.
including a stream deck, a streamer bundle, a Hatsune Miku figure, a talking grub plushie, Hollow Knight collectible pin set, and JBL noise canceling headphones.
The grub talks?
It talks.
I missed that.
Oh yeah, does its cute little meow meow.
Yeah.
It's adorable, and I want it.
Cheville, I see your question. How do you deal with splits when you can do these in different orders? There's usually only a couple that you can do in a different order. Some of them are limited to a specific place. So I do them as early as I can. And then if I get to the split where I'm supposed to do it, I remember that I've already done it basically, and I just skip the split. Alright, so we've got our jetbox thingy coming up here. And this one can be really, really challenging because, again, we're getting the game to do something that it's not really meant to do, which is why I don't know why there's a death for this. We were talking about the Z-axis before, which is like the depth of this side-scroller. And basically the entire reason that exists is for situations like this. When the boy thinks he's going to get crushed by something, he'll step into the foreground to get out of the way. So I need to essentially trick him into staying in the background so that this can land on his head. And you're not supposed to do that. See, he steps into the foreground. So we do it a little bit by getting him to hold this handle, which is on the same plane as the original jetbox, but it's also just like jumping stops him from shifting forward. There we go. Because he's in midair, so the game can't slide him. And that was actually really quick. That was third try, so that's one of the hardest deaths in the game. Nice to have that out of the way.
Look easy.
Yeah, I'm glad to have that one done. So we've got one more death. We are almost done, and so is Mort with his egg. Yeah, that was like the perfect little mixture of I get to show what happens and why it's hard, and then we just do it. That was nice.
I want to say thank you, everybody. We're starting day one off strong. We had just hit our Xenoblade incentive. Thank you, Anonymous, for your $25 donation. And that is the last actual incentive for today, so we just have a variety of bid wars for you to choose from. But you know what they say, we don't miss them around here.
Yeah, y'all are doing great. Chat looking kind of cute out here with all these donations.
That do be cute.
I thought for a second this wasn't gonna trigger, and I was gonna be so happy. It would have saved like a minute. More cuter. Hey, I'm not gonna argue with that. But I'm a little biased, maybe. So if I move any of these guys, you know, they're smart enough to notice that a box shouldn't be moving on its own, so they'll notice me. But they're hauling away a whole cage of my friendos. This puzzle just absolutely boggled my mind the first time that I did it. Could not figure it out. Because it really starts to twist your brain with, like, you know, things being upside down and, like, realizing the consequences of what you're doing and stuff. I don't know. I kind of lack common sense So sometimes puzzles like this are hard for me. Alright, we gotta be able to have it low enough to jump to without having it so low that it automatically closes that door over there.
Oh.
And we're just right on the cusp, but it works. And I love how it's not even necessarily like horror, it's just almost surreal the way that things are now. Like, we're in this upside down water and there's people hanging upside down from their heads, like from the top of their heads. And as you'll see here in just a second, they're the friendos I was describing earlier that aren't quite maybe put together right. But we love them. Well, that guy's arm fell off. It's probably okay. But there is one important difference now, which you see, they're helping me, even though I don't have one of those fancy hats anymore. So these guys aren't swayed by the drip. They think I'm cool no matter what. I think one of them has his head attached to his elbow, and I feel perhaps a little bad for that one in particular. I've never missed that button, but I'm always panicked that I will. I think they give you a pretty generous window for it. Okay, so this is going to be the final death, but it's not time. I need these guys to throw me. Whee! Okay, cool.
Yeet the child is our final death. I love it.
Yep. And now they can yeet me, but like in a more OSHA compliant. Yeah, he just gets absolutely wrecked. Alright, so they've fallen down in there, and now they'll be friends and they'll catch me. Mort, I think you got it all, my guy. I'm sorry. And just like super little things, like outside this elevator there's a teeny tiny little trail of blood. You might not think anything of it, but just like little things like that throughout this entire world really, to me, make this game stand out. Or like when we were swimming right after we got the ability to breathe underwater, in one of the windows, some like super creepy floaty body thing just swoosh up to the window, and sometimes you go so fast that you aren't even there when it happens, but it's super cool. Sorry folks, I don't need all of you. Oh, big yawn, Morty. Drink that eggie again. So in the background, we see people running, and as we get, you know, we're heading in the same direction as them. As we get closer, I love this. I love the way that this is done. There's that cigarette that's smoking like somebody just left it. This phone is hanging off the wall like somebody just ran real quick without bothering to hang it up. And these people don't care about me anymore. We've spent the entire game with these guys trying to catch me every chance they have. And now they don't care because there's something more important. Also, this fax machine that's popping out those papers back there, I think that's Morse code that it's showing, and it does actually say something. There was like a whole evolution of figuring out what was being said on that fax machine, and it like led to a website and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, I love these little secret
Yeah.
things the devs can do.
And I think don't quote me on this, but I think that the thing that it first led them to was like, you know, wait for 3 years or something and then check this website. So it wasn't even like they had the answers right away as soon as they figured it out.
Wait, has it been 3 years? Yeah, it's been over. Mm-hmm. What was it? I need to know.
I think it was like more details than what they had released to the public about their next project or something. I can't quite remember. There's a whole thing. But it's just really cheeky. I like it a lot. So they're all looking into this big orb that we kind of can't see into right now. But that's the thing they're looking at instead of caring about me. So it must be something pretty important. And it's great because the community could have chosen, like, you don't have to do any of this because we've already gotten the final death. But they want you to see, like, what happens. And so they had this go until, like, you get to kind of see a little bit of how this all culminates.
Yeah, I always like when games end on like a real ending, you know, like a final boss or something like that.
It's always sad to me with Last Guardian, and it's understandable given how long. Also, I'm going to interrupt myself to say this circular door is the other one that you can die to, and you get sucked through there. So if you fail, the entire run is ruined. Which is why it's kind of a yikes to choose that one as your death. But it's faster, so Parhelion does it, of course. But anyway, for Last Guardian, like, you do the final boss, but then there's still like 15 minutes of super story critical cutscenes, but you still have to end it. And it's very sad. So this blob thing made of people was inside the orb, and it's what they were all looking at. And now I have been sucked into the blob thing, and I am the blob thing. Yeah, I'm like a friendly meatball. So I don't really know what we're trying to achieve here, you know, as scientists making the blob thing, because obviously they're terrified of it. But a little bit later, past, sadly, where timing is going to end, you see them, like, giving you puzzles to solve and stuff like that. It's like they're interested in your intelligence or, like, your capabilities or something, and yet they're terrified of you, and they want you to leave, and they help you, kind of, to leave, but at the same time, they're interested in what you are. So I don't know what their end goal was, but I love this boy, and I wish that he was a stress ball that you could squeeze. Because wouldn't that be pleasing? Like, you're having a stressful day, you squeeze this thing and the little legs just jiggle around. I would buy that.
No, my brain immediately went to, oh, we're about to Katamari. Although it's just...
I mean, we kind of do. Any of our friendos that we roll over, it would just become a part of the orb. But the scientists, at least, are, except for that guy, are smart enough to get out of the way. timing is gonna end here shortly. I'm gonna yuck that against the wall. It's gonna end when I smoosh the CEO of this company. It will be very obvious when that happens. I'll call it out anyway. But thanks so much, everybody, for double Mort eggs. He is currently cleaning his face, is what's happening over here. Y'all are wonderful for all of your donations. Time?
I'm GG, and you're wonderful. Thank you, Sable.
Aw, thanks.
Thank you, Mort, for hanging out with us.
I don't think Mort needed to be incentivized much beyond his eggies. Hi, buddy. So yeah, we still technically have like 5 minutes or something left of gameplay to get to the actual end, but this is the end game. Once you're Blob Man, you're just kind of blurbing around and it's great. So I will let you set up for the next round, but thanks for having me and Mort, and thanks for letting me show off this game in support of Save the Children, even though whether we saved the children in this is a little bit up for debate.
And it is effective because, oh my goodness, a huge $250 anonymous donation to Save the Children.
Yay!
They really enjoyed us not saving this child.
I don't know, I think Blob Man's kind of an upgrade.
You know, I'll agree with that.